Authorizing. Access granted. Welcome to SACCHARUM Laboratories.
Thank you, Dexis, and welcome back to the Lab Trainers for another episode of Pokéology, a show where each week we become one step closer to understanding how Pokémon live in their natural habitats. My name is Professor SACCHARUM, and today we're hitting the farmlands up as we take a look at the Pokémon Miltank. Before we get started, here are the guidelines we follow when we research our Pokémon. First, we'll look at some general information. Then we'll see what the Pokémon looks like. After that, we'll see what the Pokémon eats. Following the diet, we'll see where we can find it. Then Dexis, our Pokémon database and supercomputer, will tell us the Pokédex entries for the Pokémon. From there, we'll report the general behavior of the Pokémon. Then we'll take all the information we have thus far and figure out how this Pokémon survives. And finally, to wrap things up, we'll jump into some battle strategy. Now that we've got our bases covered, let's begin. Miltank are classified as the milk cow Pokemon and are pure normal types. The average height of Miltank are about 3 feet 11 inches, which translates to 1.2 meters. These Pokemon also generally weigh about 166.4 pounds, and if we convert that, we get 75.5 kilograms. Now another tidbit is that Miltank are only ever female. Sorry Matadors, you're going to have to stick with riding Tauros. Miltank are bipedal bovine Pokemon, which essentially just means that they're cattle. Other Pokemon that fall into this category are Tauros and Buffalant, but unlike those two, Miltank have a primarily pink fur coat, which is only impeded by the black markings on Miltank's back, head, ears, and neck. If you take a closer look, you will also see that there is a little pink triangle on Miltank's forehead thanks to the way that the markings lay. There are also 2 small horns on the top of their heads, and next to those, they have little floppy ears. Something else about this Pokemon that really resonates with me are the large blue eyes that Miltank have. They're so big, and combined with the black button nose, they look super cute! Just look at them! Look at them! Anyway, these Pokemon also have 4 black cloven hooves, and coming from their behind, Miltank have long, thin, yellow tails with a black ball at the end. Now, I've been saving this last detail for last, just in case you laugh, so that way you don't miss anything. Okay, wrapping up this section, you will also notice that Miltank have a yellowish colored udder that has 4 pink teats. You know, it was really hard to try and find out what these Pokemon eat in the wild. Most of these Pokemon have been domesticated and live on farms. Some Miltank are used for dairy production and others are used for meat production, and the diets between these types of Pokemon can vary. Luckily, the farmers of Johto were able to tell me that there are some similarities in diet between both domesticated and wild Miltank. First of all, Miltank are herbivores that enjoy grazing and eating grass. When it comes to feeding time, the farmers give them hay that is made with grass and corn mixed with alfalfa and straw. But sometimes the farmers like to throw some chopped orange berries into the mix. And wild Miltank will also snag some berries from the trees depending on what kind they like. The type of berry that Miltank eats will affect the way that milk tastes. For instance, if a Miltank eats an orange berry, the milk will taste a bit sweeter. But if a Miltank eats a tomato berry, the milk will become incredibly spicy. Most of the Miltank of the world are domesticated farm animals and are bred within the farms. However, there are a few places that still have some wild Miltank running around. So if you want a Miltank of your own, you can look in the following places: Johto's routes 38, 39, and 47, Sinnoh's route 209, and the southern part of route 10, and finally Kalos's route 12. Now it's time for my good buddy Dexis to shine. Dexis, would you please be so kind as to open Pokemon Research Log 241 and read to our trainers out there the Pokédex entries for Miltank?
Why certainly, Professor. Trainers, this is what the researchers of Kanto, Johto, and Kalos have to say about Miltank. If it has just had, or is around, a baby, the milk it produces contains much more nutrition than usual. Its milk is packed with nutrition, making it the ultimate beverage for the sick or weary. The researchers of Hoenn have logged this. Miltank gives over 5 gallons of milk on a daily basis. Its sweet milk is enjoyed by children and grown-ups alike, people who can't drink milk turn it into yogurt and eat it instead. And finally, the researchers of Sinnoh and Unova have simply said this about Miltank. It is said that kids who drink Miltank's milk grow up to become hearty, healthy adults.
Thank you, Dexus. Your help is always appreciated. So as you can see, the researchers of the world have quite a bit of information that we all are able to use. But let's move on to the next section. I think you'll enjoy this one. With the information we have received from the Pokédex, we can tell that Miltank have very strong maternal instincts, since being around children will allow Miltank to produce more nutritious milk. Because these Pokemon are so maternal, they're incredibly easy to get along with, and they're really protective of their friends and family. For the most part, these Pokemon stay calm. It's a good thing they do too, because if they weren't, it would actually affect the milk they produce as well. Since Miltank want to nurture, they keep themselves pretty calm. These Pokemon may be happy-go-lucky, but I wouldn't want to come up against one myself. Miltank's round shape is probably the first thing you'll notice about it. And when trying to keep itself alive in the wild, Miltank are not afraid to throw their 166.4 pounds of weight around. Miltank also have incredibly thick skin, which is definitely what they use to their advantage in battle. But don't think that this is its only way of fighting off predators. Oh no, Miltank will stomp, punch, kick, and even use their tails to fight off these predators if their temper is raised. Oh, and did I mention that Miltank can drink its own milk to recover? Because it can. And it will do it while smiling a smile that warns you that you are no match for it. And on top of that, it can roll itself into a ball and hurl itself at you at velocities that can instantly kill you. So be careful when battling Miltank. Consider yourself warned. The first thing you're going to want to know about Miltank is that they are pure normal types. This gives them a weakness to fighting type moves and an immunity to ghost type moves. Now let's take a look at their base stats. From left to right we have 95 HP, 80 attack, 105 defense, 40 special attack, 70 special defense, and 100 speed. Miltank is one of the most well-rounded Pokemon we've seen on this show to date. It's capable of being bulky and speedy, all the while being able to hit pretty decently. Next, you're going to want to know that Miltank has access to either one of three abilities: Thick Fat, Scrappy, or the hidden ability, Sap Sipper. Thick Fat cuts the damage of fire and ice type moves in half. Scrappy allows the Pokemon to hit ghost type Pokemon with normal and fighting type moves. And Sap Sipper raises attack by one stage when the Pokemon is hit with a grass type move, and they take no damage from the move. Our first set requires that you have a Miltank with an impish nature and the ability Sap Sipper. Give it either the Leftovers or Rocky Helmet to hold, and spread the EVs 252 HP, 240 defense, and 16 speed. Then give it the moves Body Slam, Milk Drink, either Toxic or Thunder Wave in the third slot, and in the final slot either Stealth Rock or Heal Bell. With this set, your only attacking move is Body Slam, so damaging ghost types is a no-go unless you have rocks out beforehand or you land Toxic. However, if you're looking to support your team, Thunder Wave will slow down your opponent for a potentially slow hard hitter on your team. Heal Bell is there to make sure the rest of your team stays happy and healthy. Our next set requires that you have a Miltank with either a careful or adamant nature and the ability Scrappy. Slap on the Leftovers and spread the EV's 252 HP, 4 defense, and 252 special defense. Then give it the moves Curse, either Body Slam or Return, Milk Drink, and either Earthquake or Heal Bell. With this set, you're going to want to decide whether you want to be more offensive or defensive in your nature. Your moves should follow up pretty easily afterwards. Using Curse raises your physical attack and defense one stage every time you use it, but also decreases your speed by one stage. You're sacrificing speed for bulk and power. Return or Body Slam will be your main stab move. Return will do more damage, but Body Slam has the chance to paralyze your opponent. Milk Drink allows you to recover your HP after cursing up, since people will more than likely be hitting you. And Earthquake is a good coverage move for steel types if you're going to be offensive. Heal Bell is also a good option to prevent your sweep from being stopped by any burns. And there you have it, Miltank, the Pokemon that jumped over the moon. If you think I missed anything, or if you learned something new today, let me know in the comment section below, and by doing that, along with liking, subscribing, and following the socials, you have multiple entries into the SACCHARUM raffle, where you can win one of the Miltank sets we talked about today. Thanks for watching. My name has been Professor SACCHARUM, and I will see you guys next time when you visit the lab. Dexys, sign us out!
Certainly, Professor. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to leave a like. If you want to see more content like this, be sure to subscribe if you haven't already done so. If you are still unsure about subscribing but still want to see more, then click on one of the links on the screen to see more videos made by the Professor. To stay up to date with work in the laboratory, check in the description where you will find the Professor's social media links. Thank you for visiting SACCHARUM Laboratories, and have a wonderful day.